It really does. Okay, we got things around the place. Gift books and molten candy. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. Alright, what's this? The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hjemdal somewhere, or Helmdal. Tell me about the Muscle Man books. Oh, Man from Helmdal, a very popular series of adventure novels. She looks at the books with some disdain. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? What does it matter? They're all the same. She rolls her eyes and then fiddles with her pendant. However, the customer is always right, they say. I'm not going to buy a $9 book. If you're a novice to the series, I'd recommend Hjemdallerman, the Man from Hjemdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100? Man from Helmdal and the stages at the end of the world. Man from Helmdal and the false god. Man from Helmdal and the scorched earth. Man from Helmdal, the Helmdal colonies. Man from Helmdal, the swamp beast. The snow crabs. The snow crabs are worse than they sound. Is that all? Not even close. Oh my god. There's a bunch here. Do any of the books call out to me? A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eyes start twitching. Ow. Your hand reaches a book with glossy cover art. A very muscular man from Hjemdal, in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and Hjemdaler man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadows of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjemdal and the Devil Woman. Aren't all women devil women? Especially those leering types that seem to wear nothing but armored bikini. There's also some sort of snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. Okay, we're done. I don't know what the point of that was. What's here? A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. What board games do you have here? Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for me, or for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinde, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritters is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Wow, I have children? A family? Uh-oh, I shouldn't do that. It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you. I don't feel as if I have any kids. Friends are technically like family. She fiddles with her pendant, thinking, for playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization and then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 riel. So what about these Wirral things? Lousy auras there, she shudders. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know who are into those kinds of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though. Look through the pile of Wirral-related items. An endless society of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is entitled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. It's like Dungeons & Dragons. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art. The Hunters of Katuak, Boreal Creature Compendium. And a pick-your-path adventure gamebook titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velcrag. Anything that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements module. The side panel notes a fantastic Adventure board game. New maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. Yeah, no. I am going to talk to her, but I'm looking around the store first. The book collects the national recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Shelf of crime novels. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple spook novels hide amidst the detective books, thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do. What's all this crime fiction? Oh, crime, robberies, murders, she lowers her voice, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort it all out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon an officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of books found on the shelf? Sure thing. Dick Mullen on the Job, Get Me Mullen, The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen, Dick Mullen, and the Murderer in the... blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All these books. The Murder of Dick Mullen. Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve the case. Okay, let's stop. Wait. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become a murderer. Come on, this is not the way real... Yeah. Okay, I'm done. A bald man turns toward a lean man and pats him on the back. Come on, Chester, tell the story again. Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month. It's not that interesting, Chester replies. The fuck it is, the bald man replies. These guys haven't heard it. He motions to the civilians sitting in the back seat. You see Chester here? He pokes his finger at the lean man. Chester faked his own death once. Gosh, why? One civilian looks on, amazed. The bald man bellows a reply. A very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? They almost got you that time. Yeah, sure came close, Chester mutters in return, then turns to the rapt listener. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe. The inside the motor carriage is thick with cigarette smoke. Outside it starts to rain. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Well, reaction speed is going to tell me. Failure. Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach. Okay, well, I think we'll be okay with that. Tome of Fascist Magic. Nice. Shelf of biographies. The plaque on the shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. I would say the woman hums to herself, the great innocence. Yes, most certainly, it's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and the relationship to innocentric power. Who or what is an innocence? A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universe, understanding the universal understandings of the innocentric system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and the greatest. Perhaps for a layman, she scoffs, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings. So you recommend it? Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise. I feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. Oh, man. $4.70 though. The Greatest Innocence book. Fine, buy it. A true cultural touchstone. Okay. High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Ewer and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them, the madcap driver Jacob, his blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Ewer's life story, you see a slim biography of cocaine on the other. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Gilliam Bevy stands in the front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting a real-life crime ruining cops' days. I just bought a book, okay? She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course. So I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. Yeah, I bought a book, lady. I didn't even want to buy the book. Several maps have been attached to the bulletin board inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to click on these so that you guys can read them if you want to pause. See cities on the islands. You can on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star on Ozone, Fawn de l'Air. This stuff is just making my head spin right now. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. Look at the edges. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines, azimuths, and pointing into pale nothingness. Connections to other worlds. Worlds past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You have little idea of what they are. Distant stars? Gods? But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods. Okay, a map of Revachol. The north coast of Verdant Island shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperant. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to your river islands. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella, Marie, the suburbs of Saint Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. And west of the river, Coron is somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Faubourg, it's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City, it's the worst. And Martinez, it's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait, there it is, north of Jamrock. The strip of coast next to the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets, and then there's the burnt-out Quarter on the heart of Jamrock, or in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore, or is it just you? Map of Martinez. It's not really a map, it's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. It could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor. Can I buy these? No, they're not for sale. Quite valuable. They might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents. Why is the Martinez so cheap? It's out of date. Map of a tourist location. I'm not going to buy the map. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago, they also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. They didn't get far for some reason. A shame the project never got going. It would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. I'm not going to steal it. If I want to buy it, I know it's here. Okay, one more thing. Paranormal books. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of this book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything, though it is important to note. When it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you get ill, got it? Does the book say anything else? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from, how to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver, and there's even a chapter on the ancient Serays tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply, nothing worth buying. Okay. This is just mundane garbage. It's even paranatural. What's even paranatural about this? Find something truly otherworldly. The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment as you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. What's the pale? The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. What's this book about? The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with venik or hand broom made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale. Even better, if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab. Sounds invigorating. It is, and it's good for circulation too. What else? It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pail. Readers are instructed to cover those jars in a shallow hole just inside the pail and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. And what does this pale-aged liquor do? Among other benefits, it's alleged to restore damaged liver to perfect health. Okay, I've heard enough. I gotta click through this because sometimes you unlock shit. I should probably get my hands on some of that. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale, though a sidebar cautions to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worry and body of toxins. This is exactly what you need. I don't know, I don't want to be the party pooper, but this pale territory sounds sort of dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't walk in it naked. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. Well, I certainly don't need that. $4.20. Okay, no, I'm not going to start a conversation about that. I refuse. I'm getting at the end of my wits of being in this freaking bookstore. And we still have to talk to her. And if I remember right, she has a lot to say. So, let's go.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Oh, I already hate her. A golden pendant hangs around this woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber. I'm not going to ask her for money. A curious pendant you're wearing.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
So are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched as if to give it more penetration. She has a fine-tuned voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work. Oh, she has fine-tuned her voice for that. The girl outside mentioned this place is cursed. Oh, no, I'm going to say your daughter is the one standing outside, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store. I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that. Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. She's certainly polite and helpful. My precious. Her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. All this pressure has made her really anxious. You know she's chewing her nails. God, ugh, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is part of life. I don't think she can do anything about it. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You're placing an unnecessary burden on a young child. Yeah, what you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I don't usually know anything. She stands stiff and severe, slightly fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. All of a sudden, she exhales sharply. Her shoulders slump down. Oh no, she mutters. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There, she returns with a nod. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. She stops, but her mouth keeps moving. It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother. Oh. She nudges her glasses nervously. Well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband is completely different. Is this husband Annette's father? Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here, she says gloomily. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. Wait, Grand Couronne? What's that? It's a proper place to live, one of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. Her smile is wide. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times are ahead for sure. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore? He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner. Is she an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. She's a real treat. A real treat, she is. It would be nice if she had... No, you couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy. Why not? We're quite busy people, you know. My husband and I, quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. She catches herself at an impoliteness. I'm sorry, I'm sure you do understand. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. Placence nods. She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She'll be back in school the moment the store takes off. Alright. Farewell for now. But wasn't there something about it being
Hello
haunted?
again, esteemed officer. And welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
I can't talk about the haunted.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
Let's try this again. Because you know each other, she's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before. Hang on, so you know me? We've met before? Yes, I used to stand out there all the time before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Did I ever talk to you? Of course, you stopped by a few times. She looks at you intently. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Thanks, I'm trying. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore. The lieutenant slowly, ever so slowly, realizes something. Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense. I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes, he thinks. Not at all. Party eyes? You know, like a cat in the dark. All big and wide-eyed, she giggles at the thought. It certainly looks odd on a man. The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning, too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on, you boy. Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics? Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing. So why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with? I didn't know I had to do that. She looked puzzled. Fair enough. Thanks. I've learned something about myself today. I'm glad I could help you, sir. So what are you doing now? Math. She looks at it. She looks into her notebook with trepidation. It's really difficult, like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Suddenly, she smiles. Oh, I found something while you were away. Dick Mullen's hat. I thought this would fit you. She gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me, the city, I mean. Like a detective does. Wait, where'd you get it? Just what Dick Mullen would ask. She lowers her voice. I got it from behind the curtains. It's not really supposed to go there. A detective hat? Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. She grins. You'll look way more serious with that. Suddenly, she looks back at the infernal scribblings under her notes. Right, I've got to get back to my homework now. Alright, see you around. Maybe the curse will come off if I try to go behind here. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Pull open the curtains. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you, it's off limits for the customers. Her hands close around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? I don't care, you can't stop me, I'll open them. No, she raises her hand to try to stop you. Please, just talk to me, officer. Come here, and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Lies, rip them open, you say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. You see a tattered set of curtains, the polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket. Rip them apart, this time for real. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen. I warned you, you are unleashing forces beyond your understanding. Well, I want to do something other than read about books. A heavy door with missing handles stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Maybe I should break it down. A hollowed out dark echo. That's right, take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and proper posture if you want to succeed. Check your posture. Steady breathing, solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear. What about the door? It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with carmine layer of rust. It should be doable. Please. Oh, success. You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side, but you've done it. The lieutenant stares at you as you stand there, silent and brooding. You're not thinking of trying again, are you? My dog's going insane. I'm not going to say any of these words.